So I pulled off the windshield wiper motor, these 3 bolts, and it had a piece inside connected to this arm. So I just took that out. From there it was just like a 7/16 bolt. Pull the wiper out so I could get the whole harness out. And now I'm gonna build a body cart. I'll film that, but I'm lifting the body off the frame right now with 2 jacks, one on each side. I um I just figured that if the front of the car, the CG would be somewhere like right about here where this jack is under. Even it should probably even be a little more back because its trunk's so long. But I saw the back so I lift off too. So hopefully and I'm measuring on each side. This side's not lifted off yet. I'm measuring each side so I could do it as even as possible. Got a piece of 2x4 under there so it could kind of spread the load a little bit. But yeah, just kind of like this little pinch right here. Where it is. Not on the seam right here, but so far it's going smooth. And hopefully I could get this body cart with some wheels on here. So I did leave one mount in, but it's loose. As you see, it's loose in there, but the nut is in the other side just in case it decides to slide back or forward or something. But eventually when it gets high enough, I'm gonna pull that out so I could slide a 2x4 in. So up about 14 inches on one side. CG might be good. CG as in center of gravity. I try to get in the middle where it's not gonna slide backwards, or it's not. I mean, it's not gonna slide forward, but still, it could slide forward and then fall off one side. I don't know, but I'm at 14 inches on one side. I mean, 14 inches from the floor to the bottom of that piece of wood. This side I'm at 13 and a half or so. I'm only going up half inch, 3/4 inch at a time. So this is how much clearance I have here now. Pretty sure I could fit the 4x4 inside here. It's up to like 17 inches from the floor to the bottom of this wood. So I'm gonna try to slide a 4x4 in here. The front is still loose. I can turn it by hand, which means it have a little more pressure going on in the front, which is okay. I disconnected the fuel line here, but I did that previously. No, I decided to drop this gas tank because I have a better chance of sliding this 4x4 back through this way and then forward underneath the frame, because right now it's just going in and hitting the gas tank. So there's something I needed to do anyway. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get it out right now. So I managed, without jacking it up, I have to jack it up anyways, but I managed to get that through. I took these 2 straps off, with gas tank straps, and I managed to wiggle it through. But now to get it over the hump, it needs to go up some more. I forgot I had to put this beam on top, because if not, the wheel well, the top of the wheel arc would hit this, and it's not even touching where the mounts go. So these, I put all the measurements here. This piece is 8 foot 96 inches, so it's 8 foot. The top part here is 58 inches. Now I kind of centered it. It happened to be 19 and 1/8 on each side. I put a lag bolt a foot in on each side, so I'm gonna put this back in now. So this is how I put it in. I put it in at an angle like this, sideways like this, but it has to go up a little more because it's touching. Let me try to spin it up, so I'm gonna jack it up a little more. So here's how I got it. This frame is very bouncy, as you can see. It has 2 fingers, no shocks in the back, so that's kind of, I didn't even have to jack it up much. I jacked it up a little bit, but I just kind of pulled down on the frame while I twisted, and here it is. I'm trying to put it like up under this mount here where this mount goes, but this here is gonna touch. So I just put it up just a little bit ahead on that flat part, and that's where it's gonna sit. That's gonna have enough clearance so this doesn't touch here. I let on this 96 foot, 8 foot piece, I let 8 inches on each side. It seems all even. So my jack reached the highest it could have went. I jacked it down now, but So this part here, I understand what I read. The person who did this, he said he had to angle it. That's because if you put one piece going from here to that next little apron part right here, the wood can't go straight. It'll hit this here, so you gotta kind of angle it, maybe trim the back. But I'm not doing like that. I'm just putting a 6-inch piece that's gonna go on top here, on top the other 4-inch cross member. But the jack was at its max, so I cut this 6-inch part. I put it in here for now. I put it a long ways for now. But I'm gonna start jacking back up and get high enough, hopefully, that I could put the cross member and stack this on top, bolt these down into there, and keep continuing on. So after a lot little adjusting, this is where I'm at. Got a 4x4 under there. The extra piece, I have this one long ways, could fit better. I have this one sideways, because that fit better for now. I had to drop the jack stands, so I took one of the jacks out to jack up the frame, because I need this to go up more. You see how it's like has so much on it. I need it to go up more, but the frames, because the curve is in the way. So I want to drop the frame down and hopefully get this lined up square under there. Put a bolt through these so it could support these ones. Wouldn't really move around, and then drop the whole thing down. So this is where I'm at with this. This frame still isn't gonna clear the tub by a little bit. So I took the wheels off. Now I'm seeing that gonna have to take the springs off to drop it lower to roll it out the front. Um, I mean, this frame came out good for me. I'm not really a wood uh, like carpenter or whatever, so it came out decent. I feel like it could have been better. I didn't have the right saw, so this one cut at an angle, the foot cut at an angle, so it's kind of standing out sideways. The one in the back also, and I tried to brace up as much as I could. I'm not really a woodworker kind of person. Like some of it has gaps. The head went all the way in, so it's not like pulling the pieces tight together. But I always have some jacks under it just in case. But yeah, I would be careful when doing this if you're doing it this way. For this Impala, at least for mine, like it's different from the measurements I saw in another YouTube video. Um, I recommend you go up higher, maybe. And his video, he had an extra piece of 4x4 underneath each of the posts, the legs. So it lifted up higher. But this car is longer. It was a Chevelle he was working on. This car is longer, so it the 4x4 by 8 foot wasn't gonna reach. This is a 8 foot here, and this barely reached from there to there. You know what? I'll measure where it should be, and I'll tell you guys what measurement. So it's like 8 foot 9 inches. Um, I guess you'll have to get like a 10 foot piece of 4x4 and cut it. But that's the measurement from here to that post right here to go underneath. If you want to run a piece underneath, what I should have did maybe is pre-drill everything, which I thought I was doing anyway. Pre-drill everything and have it set up everything square. This car is like this, but yeah. I measured how much it would stick out from each side. I should have measured square with that piece instead of square, like even with a body on each side. But yeah, and these little pieces here I try to put for support. Doesn't want to get pulled in to the next piece of wood. The head, well, this head's not all the way in, but usually the head would just start sinking into the wood, so it won't grip to the socket anymore, and it's not pulling it in. So you know, I'm just gonna do what I have to do, really quick, touch the body the least as possible, and get the frame back under there. This spring was a 15/16 to get a lower control arm out. Whoever did this before POR'd like all those bolts and stuff, so it's super hard. So I took this spring out the incorrect way with 2 pieces of rebar, just poking it into the spring and just pulling it, like prying it out of the perch. It took a bit, but it flew out. And I have like most tension as I could off the spring, so it wasn't super tension loaded because I have that jack in the back holding the spring up, holding the frame up. So it's time for that spring over there. So here we are with this one. I this one's giving a lot of trouble because I couldn't really pry it out because how this coil here is wrapped around this. It's kind of like you can't pull it this way because the back part of the coil is wrapped around the bottom. Can't really get it, but it's wrapped around the bottom here. So you can't really push it out this way because it's catching, the hook is catching around that way. You can't really pull it out this way because that hook is still kind of wrapped around the back of the perch or whatever it is. And then, yeah, I tried a lot of prying. I tried with a bottle jack. I jacked up here to, well, here to here, pushed it all the way down to the floor. Still was tight, still had tension. I could tell because of the way it was positioned. So I checked the other one. I was gonna take out this perch. That's super solid in there. A little space to work with, you know. So I checked on the next spring. I noticed the next spring, even though I took it out, the bottom here broke. Like this piece here broke. So I like that spring. I'm not gonna reuse these springs anyway. So you already know what I did. Got an old grinder right here. And cut it open. I put these two pieces of rebar. I put one rebar this way and one rebar like that. I don't know if it was gonna do anything to help out, but it was a try. And then even after that, it put some tension on the one rebar. So I know that rebar took some of the weight from it just flying out. And then it was kind of stuck here. So I had to lift up that rebar, kind of play with it a little bit, get most tension as I could load off the spring. And then here we have it. That spring's off. And the bottom one is still stuck right here. You know, that bottom one is still stuck. This one, upper part. Yeah, I don't know what's that up inside. What is that? Coconut? Coconut husk? It looks like a coconut tree skin. How did that get up inside here? I don't know. Something was probably trying to make a nest, and that was their blanket. But let's see this one here. Like when they screw this down, they screw this perch on top of it. However they put it to work for it not to slip out. They did a good job with that, but now I'm trying to take it out. Now it's a difficult thing. So let me see if I get this removed. Yeah, I'm gonna drop the whole car down on the whole frame down on the jack underneath the diff and see if I could roll it out. Dropping it down all the way, that should give us enough. Definitely. Even that looks a little, that's crazy, but that looks like it's gonna get us out. So